Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the High Roller stream. Of course, I'm advertising that game place and not my own channel, which you're watching us on, but this channel needs to grow too. So check us out over 1,800. But that's not what we're here for today. We're here for the wonderful folks that are contributors at the High Rollers level. They usually have some spectacular things to say. And, well, I'm just very, very proud to have people that give me that level of support. So, with that being said, I'll introduce you to the two of the high rollers that showed up so far this morning. And let me tell you, they're wonderful. We've got Hoove and Six. Good morning, folks. How are you?
Hello. Well, I don't know if I have anything spectacular to say, but I do have money to burn, apparently, which is why I'm a high roller.
Thank you. Well, thank you for burning your money on me, I guess. So I appreciate that.
Happy to do it. Happy to support that park place.
Hey.
I mean, that game place.
There you go.
Culture. Yeah. Where are we?
It's Culture Casino.
Culture Casino.
That's right. I appreciate your support, Six, and I for the very, very longest time. So Six has been a beacon of encouragement.
Me love you long time.
I've appreciated it. So, and Hoove has been around for, I don't know, just a few months, and my goodness, the impact and the support. I feel very privileged. Thank you for that. I do, Hoove. Thank you.
Oh, you are most welcome, Culture. You provide a source of entertainment and information that is sadly lacking in modern media. So, I've always argued that much like any other of the arts, if you like something, you should support it. And so there you have it. So I signed up as a member.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I know you've also elevated your membership to High Roller, and of course, Ruby Hoove is out there as well. Thank you. You're, like I said, your support and generosity every day is extraordinary. So I extra special thanks to all of you and everybody out in the audience. Thanks for being here. We do have some things to say on some various subjects. There really was nothing going on this weekend. I mean,
Nope.
It was really nothing. I mean, I was struggling for things to talk about, I don't know, like the MCU.
There's no movie news or
No
characters announced.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, there really wasn't anything, but I did manage to scrape up one or two things, and one of those things being the performance of Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, I've seen this film. I believe you've seen it now, Hoove, or maybe soon.
Maybe Tuesday.
Okay, cool. So you're going on Tuesday already. And Six, have you seen this yet?
No, I haven't even seen the first two Deadpool movies. So
all right. Well, if you like absolute strings of filthy language and other things, and lots of jokes, that talk about gentlemen
body
together.
parts?
Yeah. Stuff.
Then this is a film for you, but it's also a film that has an amazing performance for an opening weekend for an R-rated film. But before we jump into it, we have one more high roller rolling in the door. Our good friend Morgan King. What's up, Morgan? Hey.
Nothing much. Sorry for the loud noise in the background. My 3D
you're quite fine, and we appreciate you being here. So
Hey,
it's been a minute.
Hello, Six.
Yeah,
Morning, Morgan.
We're getting close. This is the neat thing about how fast and quickly we are growing over on that game place, is that we're getting to the point where we're going to be able to start doing live competitive streams. So and I'll be able to actually play video games on a channel and not ruin my logarithm, because that's kind of what the channel's for. So I'm pretty stoked. But let's real quick get to this story. And thank you again for the support, Morgan. You've been around for a very long time and very generous indeed. So thank you.
No worries. Like who said earlier, you provide entertainment and news that is unfiltered by what's going on out there in the world.
Well, I try as much as I can get away with, but I know this much. I know that one thing I'm surprised by, and I will admit that, one thing I am surprised by as I get breakfast.
she's the best. Hi, Culture Boss, if you're listening.
Yeah. Oh, she is. But yeah, the is that this did as well as it did. I did not anticipate this having an opening weekend of over $200 million. Did anybody?
I did not think it was going to. I knew it was going to do well, but I did not think it was going to do this well. And after hearing people who have talked about it, um, I think Tom is the one who said it's quite a bit of inside baseball. I'm surprised that it's so huge, but I don't know if it can sustain these kind of numbers.
Well,
Due to the fact that there's so much, so many inside comments and jokes and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of heavy on that, and the biggest problem I think was it leaning into the what do you call it? Leaning into that R rating. I mean, and they really did. They also leaned into some stuff from Loki, so that's two factors that I think were going to kind of cause problems. It is right now. This film globally is over $211 million. It is going to be well over that by the end of today, this weekend. I think the domestic box office will be well over 100 million. And right now, comparatively, this thing is kicking the pants out of Joker, which was the biggest R-rated film of all time. So I really don't know what to say other than I was just surprised.
Yeah, Joker is a totally different type of, it's still like in the superhero genre, but
yeah,
completely different kind of film.
Yeah. Okay, so am I the only Morgan? Did you see this film yet or no?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I might see it next week. I just backed something on Kickstarter that was a little expensive.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I understand that backing some projects can be a little costly. So, but no, this is one of those films I think that will maybe stretch into like 3 weekends worth of legs. Which is going to be surprising, but when we look at it, you're looking at over $200 million through Saturday. They think that it made yesterday alone 61 to 62 million. So they report, Disney's reporting a $96 million first day previews for Thursday, Friday for Deadpool and Wolverine. The 3-day estimate is now targeting that $205 million range. I think they'll be well over that. And again, this is from Saturday. This is Sunday morning, so it's definitely going to be over 200 million according to Anthony here.
Do you happen to know, are there any other major box office countries that don't have it yet?
No, I think I think it opened in a lot of international markets. In fact, it looks like global open was the 24th or 25th or 26th. So it's as far as like from the UK, it's in the top 10. So you've got Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Bulgaria, China, Colombia, Costa Rica, Czech Republic, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Mexico, New Zealand, Slovakia, South Africa, South Korea, Spain, Turkey, and as I mentioned before, the UK. There are probably another 20 or so markets it may have opened up in, but just aren't out there, haven't been announced. Finland, as of the 26th, which is a couple days ago now, Finland has already been over, or right, sitting at 500,000 in box office just there, which is impressive for that country for its size.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's intriguing. We'll have more actual real numbers on Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning. That'll be a little bit more locked in. But when you compare this to the previous opening for Deadpool, it's kind of done really well. I mean, that film opened in 2016. We've had significant inflation, ticket price inflation, etc. And it opened to let's see. It opened to a domestic weekend of only 132 million. So quite a bit different.
I don't think it's as surprising as maybe you do. I've been really kind of like starved for entertainment. And I know a lot of my friends are too. So when you get a movie that you can just go to and laugh at, just have a good time, that I think can draw a pretty big crowd. I mean, people really are starved for stuff that isn't either preaching to them or, I don't know, pushing an agenda or anything like that, just entertainment. So few of the things we're getting now are just simply geared towards fan service. And that's really where the money's at, is giving the people what they want. And this one certainly seems to be doing that. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but the first two, if you were a Deadpool fan from the beginning, were both pretty good. So, as long as they don't change the recipe too much, they ought to do fairly well with this, I would think.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think you hit on something 100%. I believe that people are starved for actual entertainment. They do want something that they want. They don't want all the garbage that's been forced upon them. So I think that's significant. Six, you were going to say something.
Well, I wonder how many popcorn buckets they sold too.
Oh, I think
And I mean, wasn't the markup on that? The markup on that had to be huge.
Oh yeah, I mean, and people bought 10 or 20 of them at a time.
Yeah, and of course, most of them are going to end up in resale, and then in a few years they'll end up in a landfill somewhere. But what are there? Is there a big? Was there a big action figure release for this movie too?
That's a good question, and I don't have the answer for it. I tried to find some numbers, but I do know that the collectibles market's going to jump on this.
Yeah.
So if they do release, some limited edition Black Series or something like that, I imagine that market will go crazy. I don't know, Morgan, did you heard anything about that?
No, I have not heard anything on my. We do here. We don't have the popcorn buckets or anything like that for sale. None of our movie theaters do that.
Where are you, Morgan?
Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't been to a store like a Walmart or Target. We don't have Target anymore, to see what this toy aisle is like. So I haven't watched.
As far as I've noticed, and this has been a recent phenomenon, the toy aisles have been shrinking, just like the physical media stuff too. I mean, Walmart was supposed to get out of the physical media business, and yet I still see racks of physical media again. So
they're probably trying to dump out their warehouses of.
It's got some newer stuff in there, maybe. They really are trying to make it so you don't own anything, which is why I encourage everybody to own everything if you can. But
maybe they're fulfilling contracts they've had.
Maybe so.
I mean, they said that they were going to get out of it completely?
They said they were reducing their physical media. That's all. I don't remember the exact story. It wasn't like Best Buy who said we're done.
Yeah.
Best Buy is just done, which means they're probably done. There's no reason to go to Best Buy anymore. I mean, almost everybody kicks their butt.
I go to Best Buy for free advice from the nerds that work there.
Wow. Okay. I haven't been to a Best Buy now for probably 4 or 5 years, I think. Everything else is available at every other place right now. I mean, I have a grocery chain that actually carries like televisions and appliances and stuff. So it's just like necessarily need to go to Best Buy anymore. And of course, obviously, a lot of people utilize Amazon and similar, and of course, Walmart. So
yeah, it's nice to have just somebody drop it at your doorstep.
True story. But what I'm impressed with is that movies can do well if there's something that entertain the audience. So I think that's a good place to stop, because we did get some chats I need to say thanks for and say hi to people, because of course the lovely Ruby Hoove gifted a Culture Casino membership. Thank you for that. And if you are noticing different graphics on the screen, it's because we are using the StreamYard instead of EVMux, which is what I normally use for other shows. So this is easier to work with and easier for people to join when we do these streams. So I have to keep 2 of these things so that it's easier for everybody. But thank you, Ruby Hoove. I do appreciate it. And the cat is super cute. Liberty Hall's cat is here. Thank you. Another super cute cat for another Culture Casino membership. Thank you for that, Liberty Halls. Let's see. Lots of other people rolled through. I appreciate all your support.
Mikey was here, or is
Was
here.
Mikey here?
Yeah.
Why is he
here.
not in?
He's
why is he
driving
not-
though.
Oh, all right. That's a bummer. I was
He
like,
has
why
his
is he
son
not
with
on the
him.
stream? He misses the stream every time, Six, and then he blames me. Is it my fault?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be. It might be just a touch of you.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Hey, he could pull over. He could pull over and stream from the car.
He is on family time, max time, which is the most important time to be on.
Yeah, that wins. Yeah, that is always a winner.
Absolutely.
Speaking of winner, we've got our good friend Horseradish Power, who's been here almost 2 years. Thank you, Horseradish Power. About to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Take care. Let us know how it went, how much you like it. I love that.
You know what's amazing about the internet, and it's very strange. I have yet to have any of the cameos spoiled because I heard there's a mega butt ton of cameos in this movie. Yeah. I have no idea who any of them are. Don't put it in chat, folks. We're still on the first weekend. So
and I've gone out of my way when I've talked about it to not name anybody until like other people were doing it. Because I don't want to ruin it for people. I did a relatively spoiler-free review. I went out of my way not to mention who was in it as far as cameos. Why? Because like Six and many other people, you haven't seen the movie yet. And so there are going to be some moments that should be a surprise and you should be able to enjoy. But at the same time, I understand there are a lot of people that want to see cameos. Now, Cynthia Carter says, I don't think it'll play all summer. No, but people are definitely desperate to see something. We've also got... a very generous Joseph A. for 5 Culture Casino Cash saying, I think the boom and bust openings will continue. Movie audiences are starved for quality. They will show up for good quality films. Agreed.
Yeah.
Right, guys?
Indeed.
I'm still watching the old stuff and loving it.
Yeah, well, the old stuff is good stuff. It's easy to watch. High quality, good story, no garbage. You know, just stop putting garbage in our movies. Gina Wong, good to see you, my friend. All the way from down under, 14 months a member. Thank you, my friend. I like Deadpool and Wolverine. It's fun, and a lot of people do. Of course, my editor and I disagree, but I'm not gonna take him to task while he's probably sleeping. J, the letter in the alphabet that you have to have, the letter J. I will watch it. I don't know if theater or not. A lot of people are enjoying the theater experience. And ladies and gentlemen, Keto Simple. What's up, Dustin? Good to see you, buddy. And many, many more. For those of you who are in the chat, I do appreciate it. You are amazing. Apparently, Mexican Iron Mike. Mexican Iron Mike. There you go. I buy everything at Best Buy. All right, fair enough.
Even his underwear.
Oh.
I wouldn't do that, Mike.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds scratchy. But I see Subhuman out there. I see Kaliki Okedi out there. Six is living under a rock. Nah, she's just smart. She avoids the internet. So many people out there.
An extended leave of absence.
Well, yeah, I haven't seen you around as much, but I like it when you're here. So let's see. So what do you guys think? At the end of the day, I'm going to ask you for your predictions, and feel free to talk as long as you want because I'm going to try and eat a couple bites of breakfast. But what do you think this film will end up earning? Do you think that this will break $1 billion? Do you think it'll beat Joker? Anybody want to jump in first?
Go ahead, gentlemen.
Okay. I think it will beat Joker. Maybe not this weekend, next weekend, if the word of mouth is good. And from what we've heard and seen on social media, the word of mouth is good, so I think it will beat Joker. It's that second and third or fourth week that could be the problem. Third or fourth week that could be the problem.
That could be the what?
Problem, like the drop off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think that's a good observation because I think that we've seen that films like Marvel films, especially, they have this massive opening and then they fall off 50 to 60%. I think that's pretty good observation. What do you think, Hoof?
I'm not sure it's going to follow the curve that most MCUs follow, but most of the MCU films have followed, largely because it really isn't. You know, a lot of the development of these characters was all Ryan Reynolds, and a lot of it was done under, I believe it was Sony that had it before Disney had it. I just think it's a different critter altogether. I don't think you're going to now. Admittedly, I'm eminently disqualified for coming up with a dollar value on this because I didn't see Joker. I will admit to being not that high on the DC characters. I'm more of a Marvel guy to begin with, but I don't know. I think it's got as good of a shot as anything. It certainly seems to have some legs so far from what I've heard from my friends that have seen it and the ones that are planning to go see it, which is still a fairly large group of people for last weekend being open or this weekend being opening weekend. They're still planning that. So I think it's still got, at least from my feel for it, it's still got legs. It's probably going to do pretty good. If it doesn't beat $1 billion, I'll be surprised. I mean, yeah, if it doesn't beat $1 billion, I'll be surprised.
I don't think it's going to quite make $1 billion. I think
Whoa.
that the drop off is going to be pretty severe once all of the more hardcore fans see it. And I want it to do it extremely well. I'm not trying to, make it sound like I don't want it to succeed to a $1 billion plus level. I just, because it's the third one and people keep comparing it to Joker. I love the Joker. I'm a huge Joaquin Phoenix fan though, so that probably played into it a lot. If another actor had played, even if he had played the character in a similar way, I don't know if I would have loved the movie as much. But yeah, I don't know, I haven't seen it. So, but as far as, when you're judging or when you're guessing what you think the box office is going to be, you're basing it, based on people who haven't seen it yet, typically.
Yeah.
There'll be repeat business, but
I
don't think it's going to hit $1 billion.
That's actually a good question, right? The repeat business stuff at the box office, 6. Because I mean, how many times did you see like the original Avengers film in the theater or similar? I mean, a lot of people went and saw more than once, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of people saw, the earlier Marvel movies multiple times the same way that I saw it. I saw the Phantom Menace 40 plus times in the theater, and so I'm not that level of fandom as far as Marvel and DC go. So
I'm not sure anybody is anymore. 6.
Yeah, I think I saw Wonder Woman twice. Went with a couple girlfriends and
the
went
first
with my
one,
boyfriend.
the first
yeah,
one,
the
right?
first one.
Yeah, because the second one was garbage.
I have not seen the second one.
You are a lucky person. Yeah, the second one was just disgustingly bad. I don't think I've ever seen a film, that was so hyped up be so bad. Everybody was really hyped on that, and I was like, "Oh, this is awful."
I just recently watched a movie Friday, AVP, the first one, and it was really good. And it's like I've seen it multiple times, and I own it on physical and on digital, and it's like you look at it now compared to some of the stuff now, it might not fit in the universe of Alien or Predator, but it's still a good movie. And that thing that they keep on telling you that there's not any in movies, women or diversity. There's a black female lead in this that's not quite a boss babe either. So she did great.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I was curious because I think this will cross $1 billion. I mean, is this live and I are kind of in lockstep? I think it's going to be 1.1, 1.2 billion. It'll be the highest earning R-rated film.
I think it'll do better than Thor, Love and Thunder.
Oh, well, come on now.
Somewhere between Thor, Love and Thunder and the Joker. Without breaking the $1 billion. That's my guess. I'm putting it out there right now.
Okay.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What did Spider-Man No Way Home make?
Ooh.
Almost 3.
That was a damn good movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually have not seen that one either.
Highly recommend it.
Okay.
But that movie was something special. I mean, that was like a magic cocktail of goodness because you had multiple Spider-Men, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and Toby and Andrew, and now everybody wants Andrew to make another movie.
1.9. billion.
Yeah, almost 2 billion. Yeah, and then you have, well, Endgame. Endgame, I think, is the biggest movie ever, right? Just under 3 billion, 2.9 something, 2.8 something.
Yeah,
But
like that.
you know, I look at this in comparison to those, and I'm like, okay, well, it's not going to make that, but it did pretty well. But then, you know, we came up with Comic-Con this weekend,
Yes.
and the thing that lost me forever for Marvel was announced.
RDJ?
Oh, it's-
I will probably not go back to Marvel because of this announcement. Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I want him to do. It's not the character I want him to play.
No.
Do you guys want him to be Doctor Doom?
I
Not
want him
really.
in Iron Man.
And
I don't think he'll be a good Doctor Doom.
I think people, if he has the mask on, people won't get him confused with Iron Man. But if he takes that mask off, people are just going to get very confused. And why is the Iron Man fighting the Avengers? This doesn't make any sense. Type thing. Because he's so well known for that role of Iron Man.
That's true, but he might not appear to look exactly the way he does normally if he's out of the mask. I mean, look at Tropical Thunder. He did a really good job of stepping out of the role in that. It's possible if they make him look distinct enough out of the costume for any scenes that transpire, people might not really confuse it that much.
Yeah, look at Colin Farrell in The Penguin. I mean, he's unrecognizable. Most people,
Oh yeah,
if they didn't know, would have no idea that was him. So maybe
And
they'll go the prosthetic look for him unmasked.
He was so good. Yeah, you know, and of course that show's coming out here shortly. Are you going to be watching that, Six?
I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
The pilot.
Oh,
The
Where is it
first
on?
episode I'll watch, but it's not like I'm just all a quiver with excitement for it. So
yeah.
we'll see.
I'm
But I
looking
like the
forward to it.
Batman with Robert Pattinson. I like that movie.
You and 8 other people.
I know.
Jay for $2. Now what mistakes will Iger hide behind this film? Everything else he's done in the last year, I would say. But it's not going to fix it. Deadpool and Wolverine are not going to fix Disney's problems. They aren't. It's far from it. And thank you, Jay, for the $2 super chat. Yeah, I don't think this film isn't big enough to hide behind. He had nothing to do with it. This was Chapek's greenlit film, and he told Feige to pound sand with it. Now Feige's turning to the same ideas, and it really does expose him for what he is. But Six, did you see this from Is This Live?
I sense a bet here between Six and Cece. If Deadwood doesn't make $1 billion, Cece wears the pink mankini while streaming.
No.
I think that's no. I think culture will say no to that.
I already said no. I almost put a heck no in there. So yeah. No.
Heck to the no. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see culture in him.
No, man.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Look, you don't want to put a dad bod in a mankini.
The pigtails was bad enough.
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
I missed that stream.
I can find it for you. DM me on Twitter. I'll find it for you.
You're so mean. Aaron Ratliff. I don't want Marvel touching Dr. Doom. Neither do I. I don't trust any of Hollywood writers to write Doom correctly. Neither do I. So, yeah. Kevin Feige's going the Darth Vader direction. That's quite possible. Sergeant Giratina's Rising Renegades, but I'm not sure that that any idea around that's going to work. You really can't make him the bad guy. He was the hero of Marvel. You can't not keep him the hero. I'm sorry. Does somebody agree with or disagree with me? I'm curious what the other side of this conversation is. Robert Downey Jr. started the MCU.
Yes. There could be a silver lining to this because he died as Iron Man. His sacrifice was earned in that last movie where he died. So him coming back as Doctor Doom could be the silver lining to this, because his death had actually meant something. He's not just getting replaced with a multiverse variant of Iron Man.
Well, he looks like he had a facial peel before he went on stage, so I don't know. But
I think he has quite a bit of makeup on, too.
Yes.
Some contour.
Downey's like, new mask, same task. That's what he said from the stage.
Really?
I know about that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm not super familiar with Doctor Doom, but aren't they kind of opposite ends? One's a good guy, one's a villain. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Doctor Doom's a villain, right?
Yes. And the Russo brothers said this in response to this. If we're going to bring Victor Von Doom to the screen, he is one of the more complex characters in all the comics. This is potentially one of the more entertaining characters in all of fiction. So if we're going to do this, then we're going to need the greatest actor in the world.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll wait until see a trailer for the movie and judge his performance there.
Good point.
But
I just don't have high hopes for this. And I was kind of, like I said, I was like immediate, like, I don't want this. Stitch says Doctor Doom is a cover for RDJ to be Iron Man again. I hope that's true. Maybe this is the world's biggest misdirect.
Bait and switch.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put, a less important person in that role, you would get Pedro Pascal. Except that he's, of course, he's going to be in Fantastic Four anyway. But
just put him in the all the roles that have him in a mask.
I mean, I hope they put a little more effort into his costume. I mean, that green suit, when I first saw it, when I first scrolled past this picture without reading the headline on Twitter, I thought, is that the Joker? What? Because that's when I see that green suit, that's what I first thought of.
Yeah, and basically they took a single-breasted suit, then they put like a cowl over the top of it. Not a cowl, what do you call that? It's not really a cloak, but it's like that.
It's like a shrug. If it was a woman wearing it, I think it would be called a shrug.
Yeah, I'm shrugging already as to why they're thinking about doing this, but anyway. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I'm gonna take it off the screen because I can't do that anymore.
I can't look at it anymore.
Yeah, I'm very unhappy.
No.
Look, who here? First of all, I like all the older Marvel films, and of course it was pointed out in the chat that technically Blade started the MCU. Maybe that's true, but I'd say most people would say it was the first Iron Man film as far as the movement forward, and as it developed and changed hands and moved from in location to location, because Marvel wasn't exactly the best studio at the time till they were purchased. You ended up with amazing products after that Iron Man film. I don't think we'd be where we were without Robert Downey Jr. and his portrayal of Iron Man. I don't see it. So trying to have him switch gears makes no sense. Prosthetic aside, I mean, the people are going to know who that is.
Yeah, and what's the longevity of him playing? Is it going to be a one and done? I mean, how old is Robert Downey Jr.? Is he 60-something?
He's getting older.
How long are they going to... I mean, I know it's not like he's playing Superman. It's not that kind of casting, but how long are they going to be able to milk him in that role?
He's 59 years old.
Okay.
So, and he's in pretty good shape.
Yep. Yep.
So, it's...
But how old is Victor Von Doom? How old is the character?
Oh, he's much younger.
So that's... I don't know. Like I said, I'm not familiar with him, so much in the comics. I'm only familiar with hearing about, how this movie was going to come out. I can't remember when they announced that we were going to get a Doctor Doom in a movie a year or two ago, maybe. But nothing that I've seen in the brief time that I spent researching the character about a year ago says Robert Downey Jr. for me in that. But they've got some newbies in this Fantastic Four. So I don't know. I don't know the rhyme or reason as to why did they think that we're just going to show up because Robert Downey Jr.'s in it?
That's what I think. And
Well,
now,
I think you're right, Morgan. I think they're going to try to rely on that. I just don't. I think that's a bad thing to rely on. I think I'm going to say this as far as the Avengers are concerned. I think the audience was done with Endgame. I think you gave them what was supposed to be the end of this massive effort, and you should have moved on or rebooted or something else. What they're doing now makes zero sense.
Well, and Jill, I think it was Jill made a comment earlier in the stream. Dr. Doom villain, Fantastic Four 6. He's 6'2" and 225 pounds, and RDJ is 5'7".
Yeah, I mean most
That's a
actors
huge-
are somewhere between 5'7" and 5'8" in Hollywood.
But he's gonna need some Tom Cruise
Shoes,
inserts in his shoes. Yeah.
boots, lifts, whatnot.
the
Yeah,
box.
yeah, and yeah. I mean, Jill is right. I mean, he's not tall. I mean, I could play Iron Man, I guess. So anyway, but
I'd see that twice.
really?
I might even pay for it once.
Wow.
How would the helmet go on with that beard?
I don't know. It would probably hang out the bottom. I was thinking about that the other day. It's like if I ever wanted to do any of the things that like acting or whatever, I definitely would have to shave. It would be terrible. Unless
When I was background extra on Hell on Wheels, I couldn't have the hair that I have now.
yeah.
Can they make a wig out of beard hair?
I don't know. It's really soft. I was grooming this morning, and I was like, wow, this is really soft right now. So good beard care is important, and so it's just really coarse because it's very curly. I get very curly hair. So. My head, not so much. I mean, I do have curly hair, but not quite as much as the beard. I don't know. But I just don't know.
Mine curls when I let it grow in.
There you go. Well, overall, what I think is fascinating, and maybe this is just me. I don't know about anybody else in the chat, but I think it's fascinating that the franchise, the whole entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, crossed $30 billion in global box office in total.
Oh yeah, isn't that the most successful franchise? And
Yeah, it's the
movie
first film ever
history.
first film franchise ever crossed those numbers. That could have been Star Wars, right?
Well, but how many movies are they including in that? If you break it down per movie, I would hope Star Wars would be more successful.
Yeah. I think Star Wars, if you do divide it by film, I would say it probably is Star Wars.
And then what about, did they take into, I didn't read the article, I just read the headline. Did they take inflation into account?
Of course not.
Well, of course.
Yeah, of course not. But what they
you have
also,
a Beach Spunk t-shirt on, Hoove. I just realized that.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? He's got the Toxic Man Flu Tiki, which is one of my favorite shirts.
Awesome.
So yeah, Hoof's got some good gear. Plus, I got to see his efforts on his motorbike. I thought that was pretty good. I think that's cool. But look, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than I don't want RDG to be any other character than Iron Man. And I don't know. I might be done talking about the MCU. There really wasn't a lot at Comic-Con this year that intrigued me. Did you guys check out any of the stuff from Comic-Con?
I haven't heard anything. I just popped onto Twitter before hopping in and haven't seen anything.
I watched some of the Rings of Power clips.
Mm.
And how was those?
They are very excited about what they've done.
Okay, are you excited about what they've done?
No.
Okay.
No. I can't even bring myself to hate watch the show. And I was so incredibly over the moon when this was announced And I think I was the last one who just dug my heels, and I said, no, it's going to be good. You guys don't know what you're talking about. And then I could not have been more wrong.
Well,
we don't hold it against you.
I was like wrong to the power of 50. It was ridiculous. It was terrible. It's so disappointing.
well,
Because
Six,
now that they've killed Star Wars, Lord of the
Mhm.
Rings is like, okay, Lord of the Rings, you got to step up and take its place because, I need something in my world to look forward to and hang on to. And no.
Well, you've got a new original elf.
What?
New
Oh, I
original
thought you
character.
said I was thinking Alf.
Oh no,
Wow.
no! Mexican Iron Man just parked his car in a tree. No, no, elf, a new female elf character that is being introduced that never existed before. So
No.
party on.
Then make a
yay.
completely different franchise.
Well, they should have.
Or-
It would have gone better.
Or have like a ground roots, like street level Lord of the Rings, where it has like the names of the original characters that we know and love are just mentioned in passing, and it's just ground level, street level conflict. Have it something like that if you want to introduce new characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do anything except what you're doing now. But, hopefully this Search for Gollum movie that's coming up from Pierre Jackson and Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens and Andy Serkis. I have all my hopes riding on that.
Yeah.
I think they have their hopes running on that. If
Yeah, I think that's
read
true.
the article, they're calling them the stewards of the Tolkien verse and professors and all that stuff. They're like, we got the good guys in. Come and watch this movie.
Yeah, I feel like there's no hope for Rings of Power. I feel like that
No.
there's limited hope for this Gollum film. If it's anything like the video game, it's not going to do well.
Well, and didn't Amazon just buy the studio where they're filming?
Yes,
The Rings of Power.
the historic studio in the UK. They absolutely did.
So I don't know if that was just an investment that they saw or if they're really like patting themselves on the back thinking, man, we are nailing this Rings of Power stuff to the wall.
Well, if only 30% of the people who started the show finished the show, you are not. We're not. And, the only good thing coming out of Hollywood for Hollywood's sake is the fact that the basic crafts folks reached a tentative agreement with the studios.
Mm-hmm.
So they averted the strike, which was supposed to happen in, 3 days?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think that they're the last ones. And then at the same time, and this is a story that's going up on that game place either today or tomorrow, video games are going on strike. Or actually already have.
Well, I
'Cause
think that's good timing because I think the audience is going on strike.
Yeah, I think the audience has been on strike for a while, and games are so poorly done nowadays. They're just flopping left and right. They're taking out entire studios. I'm still going to say this. I've said this multiple places. I'll say it again today. By the end of 2024, from beginning to end of 2024, there will be 9 game studios that will no longer exist because of their poor decisions.
Well, I'm not a gamer, but that Harry Potter game that came out, what was that, last year?
Yeah.
You started playing and then you abandoned it.
Hogwarts
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, I watched Fat Steven watch that or play that game from beginning to end, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
I finished it.
Great
I
game.
streamed all of it.
I didn't abandon it. I couldn't play. I had to continue to do other things. Now I'm retired, so I
You have more time to
do
play
other
it now.
things. No,
You're busier than
actually,
ever.
less. I am. That's just weird. Don't retire, folks. You will have more to do. But
I said,
go ahead, Hoop.
oh, I was just going to say, I said when I retired, I was going to do nothing. And my to-do list is 5 times bigger than it ever was when I was like working full time. I just don't have a moment.
Yeah. And there's no excuse to hire other people to do it, which is the other problem.
Yeah.
Well, no money to hire other people either. So
but it is. It's kind of a it's a circle that you create. But I
Yeah.
think the only thing that I think that came good out of Comic-Con so far was they're bringing back Michael C. Hall as Dexter in some form or fashion. So I
never watched
I really enjoyed Dexter. I like the idea of a principled serial killer. So
What about wasn't there some Star Trek? I know there was a Doctor Who spinoff that
Yeah,
was
that's-
announced that sounded pretty good
I
Okay.
to me,
You-
but I'm a Doctor Who normie, so.
okay. Well, Doctor Who season 2, I should say Disney Who season 2 will be the last Who. There will be no
Yeah,
more.
but this was this was like a spin-off side quest kind of thing.
like Class.
they tried doing that with Torchwood. It held up for a while, but it just, there's only so much audience for that. And if you don't stay true to the original character line, you lose all the original fans, and then you're just starting from scratch. And I don't
Yeah, I
think they
tried
have what it
Torchwood.
takes to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Hoove. I'm with you.
I
And-
tried
and
Torchwood.
I mean, I grew up watching the classic Who with people like Tom Baker and John Pertwee and stuff, and they
Yeah.
were fabulous. They had good writers and stuff. And admittedly, you had some good people involved in this second go round early on, but they've all kind of, seen which direction the wind was blowing and left. So now we've got, Russell T. Davis and Ncuti Gatwa and whomever. It's like,
Okay, but let me read this synopsis about the Doctor Who spinoff. This is the official synopsis. When a fearsome and ancient species emerges from the ocean, dramatically revealing themselves to humanity, an international crisis is triggered. With the entire population at risk, UNIT steps into action as the land and sea wage war. So yes, it's gonna have a message, but I think it sounds. I'm definitely gonna give it a chance, and I don't think that just because it has Doctor Who people attached to it, they don't. I mean, a broken clock. Maybe,
Can be right twice a day.
I'm so hopeful and like I know, but I don't ever want to shit on, excuse me, culture. I don't ever want to poop on everything just from the start, the way that I hear some people doing it. And I don't want to be that. I want to be excited about stuff until I see a reason to not be excited about it.
Well, okay, so
Maybe I'm gullible. I don't care.
No, but just so I understand. So you believe that something good can come out of a series of very bad things?
Well, yes, because if something but something bad was like the offspring of something really, really good when Doctor Who was good, so why can't it go in the other direction?
That can happen.
You're just sucking all the
I
fun
agree.
out of my sails.
No. I'm trying not to, actually. Look, I mean, I have the very lowest expectations for Star Trek. They could not have made it lower. They're introducing the new Section 31 in a way that speaks, and I'm not going to use the F word. I'm going to say womanism at the extreme measure, calling her a bad bee, amongst other things. And, Michelle Yeoh doesn't need that stuff. She could just play the character and deliver. It's more about how they are presenting things now that immediately turns off the bulk of the audience. Release your show. Tell us what your show is about. Release your show, and then let the audience judge. Don't spit out a bunch of, ideologically driven buzzwords, because you're not doing your venture any favors. I think now marketing, or anti-marketing, I call it now, is probably the worst it's ever been, and it really does drive people away from whatever product you're making. I mean, there was no financial reason to keep STD going, and now you have the Section 31 show, which is an STD spinoff, and you're leaning back into all the same problems that you had with STD. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion, Six. I don't know. Do you see it differently? Do you think that they're shooting themselves in the foot with the way they present this stuff?
Well, Six was talking about Doctor Who.
Oh, no, I understood, but she also mentioned Star Trek.
Yeah. Everything that you say is true. And as I was reading that synopsis aloud, I was thinking, why do I bother? Why do I get my hopes up? And
Almost
it's
sounds
just going to be terrible. They're using, some of the same actors. And the thing that got me the most excited was there was a picture of a guy who was in a TV show called, what's the TV show? It was about a ghost, a vampire, and a werewolf, and they all lived together. There was a British Being Human.
Oh,
And there was a British version and there was an American version. And the actor who played I adore both versions. And the actor who played a werewolf in one of them, he is going to be in it. And I was very excited to see him. But now you've let me down gently, Culture, and you brought me back down to earth. I just want to be excited about something. I want to have something to look forward to.
Well, you do.
I know, because Twilight is going to be a TV show, and I can't wait for that.
Okay, but before that, go ahead. Sorry, Morgan.
Then there's the Harry Potter TV show coming out.
Yes.
Yeah, and
then we have the Mandalorian movie. That's coming out.
And getting away from all of the franchise stuff, there are rumors that they're finally going to get an animated Elf Quest out after, I don't know, 40 years of talking about it.
Wow.
So apparently there's a Japanese animation, like an anime studio looking at doing that with Wendy and Richard Penny. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Hopefully it comes true.
That would be interesting. So, wow. Apparently, ElfQuest animated series based on comics and works at Fox. Amazing.
They just talked a little bit about it. Wendy talked a bit about it on her Facebook page. So one can hope it works out.
Yeah, I mean, they're not giving a steady series of updates, but that's amazing. So it is fully based on the first published ElfQuest epic from 1978. So there you are. Fantastic. Well,
that sounds good.
Yeah. I'm intrigued. CC.
Okay, there's one.
Intrigued. Yeah. Well,
and you guys like DC because the animated side has been hitting it up quite well.
Oh, really?
Justice League, Crisis on Infinite
Earths. Yeah.
Earths, I think it is. 3-part movies. I watched all 3 of them and they're really good. You don't.
Yeah, the animated stuff's all pretty good.
But if you knew, like, if you watched the previous stuff, you knew stuff about it. Like, oh, there's that part. And then you kind of get drawn in more. But you don't need to do the homework for it.
Yeah, that's the thing with Marvel. God, the homework.
Yeah,
it's insane. Is there any other franchise that even approaches that level?
Probably Star Wars now.
Sitting on your ass. That's true. Star Wars does have a lot of
homework.
And look, we're about to get a lot of disappointing things, but there are a few good things here and there, and those are the things we should support. And I know everybody says that, but it's the absolute truth. If they do a good job on something, you support it. If they do a terrible job, you don't. In video games, you pretty much can ignore almost everything for the next couple of years, and that includes, and I hate to say it, and I'm going to get some negative comments from folks, but GTA 6 is going to be garbage, hot garbage, and they know it.
Culture, you said I think was it Thursday or on your Wednesday? You asked if you continue reviewing movies.
Yeah,
I was painting at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't type fast enough to get to my laptop to type. But my comment for you on that is review the movies you like and post the video of them. Do not do any. If you watch a movie and it's bad, don't put it out there. Just do the good ones.
Okay, that seems reasonable. I think it won't give a lot of voice to the problems out there, and I think that it's harder to criticize somebody when they're saying praise about good things. So, understood. Yeah. That might be a way to pursue it. So there's that. Is Josh here? Somebody says Josh was here.
I saw him in. Yeah, he's here.
Okay. Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
And of course, Snortopoopus is here, and many others. You guys, thanks for popping in. GTA 6 is going to rival the latest Saints Row. Zed Hero, that's my thinking exactly.
Ooh, that's not good
Yeah, Volition is no longer a studio
because of that mess.
because of that. Yeah, and look, I mean, Embracers bought a lot of studios and let them tell ideological stories, and the Embracers losing money left and right, losing value. You know, they handed Lord of the Rings off in part to Amazon so that they could make this a little bit more sense in season 2 of Rings of Power.
That happened, I believe, before
It did.
Embracer bought them. Yeah.
No, okay, all right. Regardless, I think it's going to be another hot mess. So, I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope for the future. But what I have hope for is all the amazing people in my chat today, and those of you watching on the replay. Let me know you're watching the replay by putting in the comment section below "replay gang." I would appreciate that. And I'm grateful for my high rollers, everybody that was here and everybody was at in the audience, like Mike and others. You guys really do help out considerably. That's creator revenue is not driven by ads. I'm telling you right now, especially when you're a small channel. So,
hell yeah.
Yeah, but if you're a creator out there and you have wonderful supporters, be grateful because they're what makes the engine go. So all of you out there, thank you so very much, and especially to these 3 folks that I appreciate so very much, and some of them I've known for a very long time, 6. So I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful.
People see the super chats rolling in and they think that YouTubers are just rolling in the money. Well, first of all, YouTube takes 30% at least of that, and then the amount of time that YouTubers just in general in our community put into their channels behind the scene, it's unbelievable. They're making like $2 an hour if they got paid by the hour. It really is. It's a job of, you have to be passionate about it, and you have to love what you're doing, and you have to care about your audience and the topics that you're covering. So just keep that in mind when you just kind of casually click on a stream, like the video, share it if you're on social media, subscribe to the channels and the people that you want to support, because it really does help.
It does, and thank you, 6, for that promotion. But you're correct. I'm grateful to everybody that does the same thing I do, because they are investing a ton of time. They really are. Yeah. And if anybody will tell you anything, prepping a show like even the 6-minute daily, that's 1.5 hours, 2 hours of work. So it's pretty wild. But I love doing it. I love doing it, and I love hanging out with all of you. So I just want to say thanks to these 3 folks that made it today. Hoove, thank you very much for your support and generosity. 6, thank you so very much for everything that you do, especially some of the stuff behind the scenes. Most people don't know you are the tip-top research person that just gets to stuff before anybody else. So thank you. And Morgan King, thank you for your incredibly long support of this channel. And we will play video games together, and you will whip me at whatever Warframe or whatnot. It's
Warframe. It's a companion game, so we would be on a team and we would go throughout the mission. So I'd be helping you win.
Oh, okay. So you aren't just gonna have me on there to whoop me?
No.
Okay. All right.
I most of the games that I try will invite you to. It will be co-op, you and me on team.
Okay.
It will not be me versus you.
Okay, good, because I can take like Mario Golf and Mario Kart and stuff like that, but when it comes to like shooters, I have to actually be competitive. So when I'm playing Fortnite, I'm like, this is a really silly game. So yeah, I hate the building people. I won't play on the building people like maps because I'm like, don't build things.
I don't have Fortnite, so I know.
It's cheating. All right. On that note, I just want to say thank you so very much. I appreciate all of you. We're going to drop out of the show now. We come up on the 1 hour mark. I hope everybody has an incredible rest of their weekend, and I hope to see you all on the late night culture show, the Sunday night show, which, I really am having fun with, and hopefully you will too. On that note, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, we'll see you. Thank you, Copper Indio, for a $10 Culture Casino cash. I'm sorry I missed you guys. I'll check the replay, though. Thank you so very much, Copper Indio. Have an incredible weekend.